Welcome back, McFly subscribers. We are continuing the medium-sized streamer series with this Sparkle Minnow fly, a perfect name for such a flashy fly. Now, I want to apologize for my voice today, as I have been battling a cold for a week, and I lost my voice a few days ago. It's coming back, but not 100% there. However, I needed to finish editing this video, so I had to do the voiceover anyway. Now, I will discuss this fly in more detail further in the video, as I'm sure you all want to get started tying right away, but in case you haven't seen this channel before, this is McFly Angler.
Starts now.
Okay, let's start tying. Place a hook and cone securely in your vise. For a hook, I'm using Risen's Streamer 200 in size 4, and the cone I'm using is Risen's Cone Head in gold, and it's a size large. You can use whatever color, it doesn't have to be gold. And by the way, Risen has some awesome prices for their beads and cones. They come in some really cool colors as well, more than I have here. Okay, so the hook is a 2x heavy and 4x long hook, and you can see how long this shank is. The easiest way to get the cone on the hook is place the cone in your hand and bring the hook point to it. I am also going to add a .015 size lead-free wire. You can use lead wire, but today I'm going to be using the lead-free. And I find it is helpful to put this in a bobbin holder, which makes adding it to the hook much easier. Wind on your desired amount. Now I want this to be rather heavy, so I am adding 20 wraps. Make more or less according to your needs. Push the wire wraps together, and then add a dot of super glue on the hook shank right behind the bead. Then push the lead up under the bead. Now for the thread, and I'm using Vivis 140 today in olive. You can use whatever color you want, and many people use a bright color for a hotspot collar, but if you tie this right, you won't see the thread, so you could even use white. It doesn't really matter. This is a very strong thread, by the way, which you will need. Start your thread right behind the lead wraps and snip off the waste. Then bring your thread up over the lead to secure it. And let your thread wind up under the bead. Then bring your thread all the way down to the start of the hook bend, and wrap back up a wrap or two. Now we will need some Marabou for the tail. Usually these are tied with a white and some darker color. And Marabou comes in a wide range of colors, so you can tie these however you want. Let's pull off a Marabou feather and stroke up the fibers like so. Now measure out about a hook shank length for the tail, and then tie it in at that measurement with some tight wraps. Now start wrapping up the feather to about a third of the way up the hook shank, and then pull the feather up and cut it off at an angle. And make a few more wraps to clean up the waist and taper that shank. Then bring your thread back down to about the hook point mark, and now for some flash. Here I have some gold crystal flash. You can use any color flash you want though. Pull out 3 strands and clip them off the hank. Measure the flash to be a little longer than the Marabou tail, and tie it in on the side of the tail. Then pull the forward-facing strands rearward and tie them in on the other side, and then clip them to the same length. Now let's pull out a darker color Marabou feather, and this one is called golden olive. Stroke the fibers up, same as before, and tie this in to be the same length as the white feathers. Then tie the feather up the hook shank a bit longer than you did with the white, maybe about 2/3 the way up. Then cut off at an angle and clean up the fiber. Then bring your thread back down to the hook point mark, and turn your fly upside down. Now we will need some flashy dubbing brushes, and you can buy them, but I'm going to show you how to make them. First, let's make a white one. Ice dub works great, but the Starburst fiber from Fly Tires Dungeon is much less expensive, and we will be using a lot. I have a few videos showing how to make dubbing brushes in more detail that I will link in the description section if you're interested. But here is a quick rundown. You start the dubbing brush wire and hang it off the side. Then let's prepare the dubbing by pulling it apart in your fingers a few times to align the fibers. Now these are quite long, so I'm going to cut them in half. And after aligning them once again, I place them down on the table over the wire, and try to space it out a bit. Okay, let's fill up this table with this pearl flash dubbing. Then we wipe some dubbing wax on the wire, and place the wire over top of the flash, and then spin the brush a few times before cutting the excess wire off. Now we can remove the tabletop and spin this brush up nice and tight. Now it's a good idea to get a pet brush like this and brush out the fibers, as there will be some trap fibers that get spun around that wire. Once brushed out, we can cut it loose from the table, and now we have a dubbing brush. Okay, let's make the darker color brush also. Here I have some olive color Starburst dubbing that I will fill this up with. The nice thing about making your own brushes is you can customize it. So here I'm adding a darker olive color dubbing to this to match some olive Marabou. However, I only want to tie 2 of them in that color, so I'm only going to go halfway with the darker color. And here I'm adding some light yellow to match the color Marabou that we're going to be tying today on the other side. So this will be a 2-sided brush that will tie 4 flies, 2 in each color. Okay, spin the brush up and cut it free, and there we go. Now we can tie up these flies. Tie in the white belly brush underneath the fly with some tight wraps. And if your wire is long, then cut it so it doesn't extend past the cone. Then tie in the wire and bring your thread back down once again. Turn the fly back around and tie in the other brush that will match the top Marabou color. And leave your thread up right behind the bead. Now we will wrap the darker color brush up the hook shank with open wraps. Now you can make this as bushy or sparse as you want. The tighter you make these wraps together, the bushier the fly will be. You will want to pull the fiber back with each wrap to help keep from trapping too many fibers. But you will trap some, and we will fix that in a minute. In fact, I find it helpful to grab a bodkin and pick out some of this fiber when you're about halfway up the hook shank. Then continue wrapping this up the hook shank until you reach the cone. But try to make at least one wrap under that cone. Separate out a few fibers to make a more even tie-in, and wrap over the wire with a few tight wraps. Then pull all the fibers rearward and wrap in front of everything up under that cone. Cut off the wire with some wire cutters and make another wrap or 2. Now we need to pick out the dubbing. At first this is going to look super messy, but it will get cleaned up soon. A stiff toothbrush can be helpful once you pick out the dubbing to brush it forward and then rearward to help align the fibers. Use your bodkin to part the dubbing at the bottom of the fly and spread it out with your fingers. Now we will pull this white belly brush up through that part, and it's helpful to use a toothbrush to comb back some of that fiber. Make sure you pull back a few extra fibers as well on the front, and make a few tight wraps over that brush. Then pull it back and wrap in front of it, but try to push it down under the cone with your thumb. Cut it off with some wire cutters, and then pull everything back and wrap in front of all the fiber up under that cone. Now you can whip finish the fly under the cone and cut off the thread. Now that cone will protect the whip finish, so there is no need to add cement if you don't want, as long as you made a good whip finish, that is. Okay, let's pick everything out once again and brush out the fly as well. And if some of the fibers are a bit long, you can simply rip them off like so. And there we have it, the finished Sparkle Minnow. This is such a flashy fly, with all that flashy dubbing. It will also move really nicely in the water, flowing and undulating with each strip. Just a little water current makes this look like it's swimming or even breathing, which can really entice the fish. There is no question that this is a fly that is made to get the fish's attention. Predatory trout, bass, and other species that eat baitfish usually are ambush predators, as they want to wait for something to swim by and then attack before the bait even notices it's there. Well, there is no way a fish anywhere near this fly will not notice it. I really don't think there is a better attractor style baitfish out there. You're not necessarily trying to mimic a specific bait with this fly, but only trying to get the fish's attention. It is also fairly easy to tie once you have the dubbing brushes. And these dubbing brush tables from Oasis benches are awesome, and really very well priced for what they are. So I highly recommend picking one of them up. However, not all of you will be able to, and buying pre-made brushes can get very pricey. So let me show you another way to tie this without pre-made brushes. Everything is going to be the same until we get to the flash body, so I'm going to speed up past all of this. Here I am tying a brown one, and I'm also using a black thread, so you can see we will be able to hide the thread, and that the color of the thread will not matter. Okay, now here is where we will deviate from the previous tie. Let's make a dubbing loop. To do that, we will wrap the thread around our finger and then double it back. Close up the loop by wrapping over the loop like this, and then tie this back to the start of the tail. This will be the belly, so let's keep this underneath the fly. Okay, let's make another dubbing loop, more on the top of the fly, and this will be the body. Let's add a dubbing twister and a little bit of the dubbing wax. Then add our dubbing to the loop. Now spin this up Pick it and brush it out. And now we have basically the same thing as the dubbing brush, just with a thread core versus a wire one. And this is why we need some heavy thread like this Vivus 140 for this. Okay, let's wrap this up the hook shank and pick it out about halfway through. When you reach the cone, let's try to get a wrap or two under the cone. Tie this off and clip off the waist. Now let's form the belly color dubbing loop. Add the pearl flash, spin it up, and pick it out. Now we will part the body flash and pull this belly flash loop under the fly. Tie it off with a few wraps over it and in front. Cut off the waist and then wrap up under the cone in front of all the dubbing a few times. As you can see, we formed a black collar on this fly, which can happen. And you could leave it as is, but we can also hide this with some flash dubbing if you choose. Let's pull apart some dubbing in our fingers and place the darker color on top and lighter color on the bottom. Then make a loose wrap over it, cinch down and make a couple more wraps. Then pull the forward-facing flash rearward and tie in front of it. Now let's pinch the sides and move the fibers around so they are evenly distributed around the fly. But make sure that the pearl flash stays on the bottom and the darker flash is on top. Then whip finish your fly and trim off the waist. Pick out the fly and brush it forward and backwards with a stiff toothbrush. And this fly is now done with the dubbing loop technique. Now this is a bit more complicated and takes a little more time to tie, but if you don't have a dubbing brush table and can't buy one right now, this is a viable option to get you tying these flies. You can see that it comes out looking just as nice, and with all that dubbing, it should still be just as durable as the wire version, as there is no way a fish tooth is going to penetrate all the dubbing to fray the thread. Well, there we have it, 2 different ways to tie the Sparkle Minnow. This really is a great pattern that grabs the fish's attention and elicits strikes from aggressive predatory fish. It is a bit complicated to tie, and I would definitely not call this a beginner's fly, but once you get the hang of it, it really isn't too difficult. Not the fastest fly in the world to tie, but it is very durable. So once you tie up a handful, you should be able to catch many fish on them. That is, if you don't lose them to a tree. Let me know in the comment section what you all think of this fly. And apparently it's one of the most popular flies out there right now for fishing predatory trout. And while the pattern has been around since the early 2000s, it only recently gained popularity in the past few years. So let me know in the comment section if you have fished this pattern before and what you all think of it. Okay, well, I'm 2 flies into this month's streamer series. I started off this series last week with the Deceiver Fly, one of the most versatile and effective streamers ever made. And of course this week now the Sparkle Minnow. Check back next week as I plan on continuing the series with the Rabbit Zonker, a streamer that has been around since at least the 70s and is still very effective today. So make sure you're subscribed and click the bell notification so you don't miss any future videos like this Rabbit Zonker. By the way, these all foam fly boxes are finally available now on Amazon with free shipping. I do apologize that it took so long. I know a lot of you were asking when they will be in stock, and finally they came available. These are thin enough to fit in most chest pack pockets, yet they still have enough room to hold large streamers without compressing the material, and on both sides as well. The clasps are magnetic and very strong, and the boxes are made entirely of foam, so they float when accidentally dropped in the water. Also, with those magnetic clasps, they almost always close when they land, so you won't lose any flies, or the entire box if you accidentally drop them when fishing. I can't tell you how many flies these boxes have saved me, and if you're as clumsy as I am, these are the perfect boxes for you. They also make great gifts for your fishing friends, so pick up a few while supplies last. I will link below to my Amazon storefront if you're interested in picking up these boxes. Also, don't forget to check out my sponsor, Risen Fly. They made the hooks I use today, but they also make some of the best fly rods and reels for the money I have ever used. Best off, they're offering you all a discount. So if you're in the market for a new rod or a bunch of hooks or beads, go to www.risenfly.com and type in McFly at checkout and they'll give you 15% off of your first order with them. Okay, thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, please do me a favor and click the like button. Also, if you could share my videos with all your fishing friends, I would really appreciate it. I will see you on the next video. Now you go catch some fish.